Hi everybody, I'm Cecilia Isaac with F-BOM, and I'm here today with Sharolyn G. Brown, author of our current F-BOM book, The Heaviness of Knowing. This is a little sneak peek. Sharolyn is going to introduce her book for us and tell us a little bit about herself. I'm going to let Sharolyn take it from here.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everyone. As she said, my name is Sharolyn Brown, and I guess I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. So if you've read the intro to the book, you'll note that, as I stated, I never knew that I wanted to be a writer up until probably about 10 years ago. And the way it happened was kind of one of those lightning moments where I just read an inscription in a book by an author that I'd fallen in love with. And I was like, and so that's what kind of started me down this path. And so over 10 years later, I finally got to the point where I was ready to write The Heaviness of Knowing. And I discovered that self-publishing was a thing that people were doing. And it wasn't kind of the old model where if you wrote a book and you wanted to self-publish and you had to buy like 5,000 copies and put them in the back of your car and in your garage and try to sell them to people yourself. Self-publishing had come a very long way thanks to technological advances and various other things. So I decided to give it a try, and here we are. To date, I've written The Heaviness of Knowing, which is the first full-length novel that I wrote and published. Book 2 is currently published as well. I'm working on book 3 now. That will be out this summer. And I've written 2 novellas that are companions to the books. And so they're standalone stories, but I think you get a little more out of the novellas if you read the books first themselves. So that's kind of about me and how I got started and where I am. And I guess giving a little sneak peek of the story, The Heaviness of Knowing, at its core, it's really about what do you do when you know a truth that you don't want to know. And it's kind of this thing where I didn't even realize that's what the story was about, because when it first came to me, it really started as a thought after a conversation I had with one of my friends who said she never remembered her dreams. And I pretty much always remember my dreams. Like, it's not uncommon for me to wake up in the morning and just tell my husband, oh my God, I was having the craziest dream, and just give him the full rundown. And he just looks at me like, when we first got married, it was kind of astonishing to him. But now it's just kind of like ho hum, like, okay, yeah, you remembered another dream. But so for me, it's really weird, or I don't know, it's just out of the ordinary when I meet people who say that they don't remember their dreams, but they rarely remember them. And so when we had this conversation, I just kind of went away, and it just kind of stuck with me. Like, why would it be that there's some people who do remember their dreams and some people who don't? And my imagination just took over from that point. And I'm like, well, what if our dreams are being used? And it was like, oh, what if they're being used by aliens? And oh, what if these aliens are using our dreams to try and invade the earth? And then I saw Lauren, and then I saw Roxal, and like this whole thing just kind of developed in my brain from that conversation. So that's, I think, the best summary, or at least the most of the summary that I'd want to give right now, because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone still reading the book.
All right. Great. Thank you so much for that little introduction. I hope that people have started their book already, but if you haven't, of course, you download your copy now. We will have our full interview with Sharolyn in February, so stay tuned to the Facebook page or to the YouTube page so that you know when that is scheduled. And if you are already a member of F-BOM, you can download your copy and start reading it now. And you can also, you don't have to wait for the interview, you can ask Sharolyn your questions now in the F-BOM forums. All right. So thanks, everybody. And thank you, Sharolyn.
You're welcome. Bye.